My friend Sarah texted me last week. She's 22. She said, I got accepted to my dream school. I posted it. Got 3,000 likes. And I felt nothing. Like, genuinely nothing. I should have been happy. I was happy for like 5 seconds. Then I felt empty again. That's when she realized something was broken. Not with her life. With her. Then there's Marcus. He spends 6 hours a day on TikTok. He's not even enjoying it anymore. He just can't stop. He told me, I feel like my brain is fried. A conversation with my mom feels boring compared to TikTok. Reading a book is impossible. Even my favorite video game doesn't hit anymore. And honestly, I've been there too. You probably have. That feeling where nothing hits the same. Where achievement feels empty. Where you're constantly searching for the next thing to feel something. This is what happens when your brain, a system that evolved over 200,000 years, gets hijacked by technology designed by geniuses whose entire job is to break your willpower. This is dopamine burnout. And what's wild? Philosophers figured this out before smartphones existed. They saw it coming. Conversational, friendly tone. Okay, so here's the thing nobody tells you about dopamine. You've probably heard it's the happy chemical, right? Wrong. I thought the same thing. Dopamine equals pleasure. So if I could just get more dopamine hits, I'd be happier. But that's not how it works. And understanding this changed everything for me. Dopamine isn't pleasure. It's anticipation. It's the, oh, something good might happen feeling. Think about it like this. You're hungry. You smell your favorite food cooking. Your stomach doesn't feel satisfied yet, but your body gets excited. That's dopamine. It's your brain saying, hey, movement is worthwhile. Go toward this. That's a healthy dopamine spike. It motivates you to do something that actually helps you survive. But here's where social media gets evil. Apps like TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, they've reverse-engineered human dopamine. And I mean engineered it. There are entire teams of neuroscientists and psychologists at these companies whose literal job is to figure out how to make you more addicted. And they've figured it out perfectly. Here's what they do. The moment you open the app, dopamine spikes. You scroll. You might see something funny. Dopamine spike. But it's never quite what you were looking for. So you keep scrolling. And that's the trap. Your brain learns, anticipation feels better than satisfaction. So you're always chasing the next thing. The next post. The next like. The next notification. A notification dings. Dopamine. You open it. It's disappointing. But that doesn't matter. Your brain is already looking for the next dopamine hit. This is exactly how slot machines work. You pull the lever. Your brain gets that anticipation spike. Sometimes you win. Usually you don't. But the hope alone is enough to keep you pulling. Except your phone is way more sophisticated than a slot machine. Here's what happens over time. Your baseline dopamine starts to rise. Just sitting without your phone feels boring. Your normal life feels flat. A beautiful moment? Feels meh. A good conversation? Boring. Things you used to love? They don't hit anymore. This is what happened to Marcus. And Sarah. And most people you know. Your brain got so used to constant dopamine hits that normal life feels like depression. But it's not depression. It's recalibration. Your nervous system is just used to the high. Here's the creepy part. Philosophers saw this coming 150 years ago. There was this guy, Arthur Schopenhauer. Miserable dude. Like, genuinely pessimistic. But also brilliant. He watched wealthy people his entire life. Rich merchants. Successful scholars. Beautiful people who had everything. And he noticed something dark. None of them were satisfied. The moment they achieved what they wanted, their mind just found something new to want. Like that empty feeling never goes away. He called it the cycle of suffering. And what he described sounds exactly like what happens to you when you get likes on a post. You want the post to blow up. You get 500 likes. For literally 5 seconds, you feel good. Then, the feeling is gone. And now you're thinking about your next post. Your next achievement. Your next dopamine hit. Schopenhauer would have said, this is the human condition. And it's a trap. Then Nietzsche came along, different guy, also intense, and he said something that changed how I think about this entire thing. Nietzsche said, comfort is the death of the spirit. He wasn't being edgy. He was saying that a life of pure ease and pleasure creates weak, hollow humans. Humans without depth. He believed that meaning, real meaning, comes from struggle. From doing hard things. From pushing yourself. Most people misunderstand this. They think Nietzsche wanted people to suffer pointlessly. That's not it. He was saying, a life where everything is easy, where every dopamine hit comes instantly, where you're always comfortable and stimulated, that's not a good life. That's a hollow life. And that's what I see in Gen Z. Not happiness. Hollowness. You've been given everything, instant entertainment, social connection, validation through likes. But you feel empty. Nietzsche would say, you need struggle. You need to build something. You need to earn your satisfaction. Because when you earn it, when you work for it, when it's hard, that's when it actually means something. That's when you feel alive. Here's what I want you to know. This isn't your fault. Your parents had to earn entertainment. They had to go to a movie theater or wait for a show to air at a specific time. There were natural pauses. Your older siblings maybe had MySpace, but it wasn't optimized to be addictive yet. But you got something different. You grew up with unlimited content, instant connection, constant stimulation. Right when your brain was still developing and learning what normal even means. The cruel part? The companies making these apps know this. I talked to a former TikTok engineer last year. She told me that every feature, the color of the button, the sound of the notification, the timing of when videos autoplay, is A/B tested with thousands of people to figure out what makes you compulsively return. They measure engagement in milliseconds. They know exactly which colors trigger clicks. They know that variable rewards, sometimes you get a good post, sometimes you don't, create more addiction than consistent rewards. They use the same psychological tactics that casinos use. And your developing brain, literally still learning how to regulate dopamine and impulse control, was the perfect target. A 19-year-old I met told me, I feel like my brain is broken. I can't enjoy anything anymore. Even hanging out with my best friend feels less interesting than my phone. She felt broken. But she's not broken. Her dopamine system got hijacked. Here's the thing though. Once you understand this, you can fix it. It's not about willpower. Willpower is useless against an app designed by 500 people whose entire job is to break your willpower. It's about understanding what's happening and taking intentional action. So here's the thing. You can't just quit your phone. Your whole life is on it. And honestly, that's not the point anyway. The point is resetting your dopamine baseline so that normal life feels alive again. Here's what actually works. Phase 1. The 48-hour reset. This is the hardest part. And it's only 48 hours. You eliminate high-stimulation activities. No social media. Not for a quick check. Completely off, no endless scrolling on YouTube, no video games, no Netflix binges, silence your notifications. What do you actually do? This sounds boring, but it's not. You go for walks. You read a physical book. You sit outside. You have a real conversation. You do something that's mildly uncomfortable, a cold shower, a workout, whatever. Most people think this sounds terrible. But I'm going to tell you what happens around our 20 to 30. Everything becomes sharp again. You notice colors you didn't see before. A conversation hits different. You can actually focus. You laugh at things that aren't even that funny, because your dopamine baseline has reset. I did this last year and by day 2, I cried during a sunset. Like, genuinely. Because I hadn't felt anything that way in years. That's what you get back. The ability to actually feel. A 23-year-old girl who did this told me, on day 3, I realized I could read a whole chapter without getting distracted. My mom made my favorite food and it actually tasted good. Like, really good. I'd forgotten what that felt like. Phase 2. Intentional use, the real work. After the reset, you don't just dive back in. You use apps intentionally. Before you open your phone, you decide, why am I opening this? What am I looking for? Set time limits. Not because you're bad if you go over, but because friction creates freedom. You turn off all notifications except from actual people. Not apps, not likes, not news alerts. Just humans. You replace scrolling time with creation. Start small, a journal, a voice memo, a drawing, whatever. The point is, you're producing, not just consuming. Phase 3. Building real meaning. Slower, more serious. But here's the truth. If you just do the detox without building something meaningful, you'll relapse. Because your brain will say, okay, normal life is nice, but it's still kind of empty. Schopenhauer and Nietzsche both understood something that modern therapy sometimes misses. Meaning comes from doing hard things. So you need to build something. A hobby that actually challenges you, instrument, art, writing, sport, a project you care about, even if it's small deep relationships, not just digital onesie practice that's slightly uncomfortable but meaningful. This is the antidote. Not just detoxing from dopamine, but replacing it with something real. That's when you actually feel alive again. I know a guy, Daniel, who did the dopamine detox, and during that reset, he realized he wanted to learn guitar. Not to post about it. Just because. He's been playing for 8 months now, and he told me recently, I feel more satisfied from 20 minutes of guitar practice than I used to from 3 hours on my phone. And it's actually getting better. I'm actually building something. That's the move. That's what philosophers were trying to tell us all along. I'm going to be real with you. When I was first dealing with this, I felt broken. I couldn't focus. Nothing tasted good. People bored me. I felt like something was fundamentally wrong with me, and I blamed myself for it. Like I was weak or broken. But the moment I understood what was actually happening, that this was designed to happen, that my dopamine system was hijacked, something shifted. I wasn't broken. I was just recalibrating. And once I did that 48-hour reset, once I started building something real instead of just consuming, I felt alive again. Not happy all the time. That's not the point. But present. Engaged. Like my life was actually mine. Pause. The philosophers were right. Schopenhauer was right that comfort doesn't bring satisfaction. Nietzsche was right that meaning comes from struggle. Gen Z got sold a lie. That happiness is found in infinite stimulation and instant gratification. But you already know that's not true. You can feel it. So here's what I want you to do. Try the 48-hour reset. Just 2 days. And pay attention to what comes back. The colors. The conversations. The ability to feel. Because that's where your real life is. Not in the likes. Not in the endless scroll. In the struggle. In the creation. In the people right in front of you. And once you feel that again, you won't want to go back. Thanks for watching.